Hey, Steve.
How you doing there?
Hey, thanks for talking with me, taking a moment out from your show. So tell me, what made Elvis such a compelling performer?
Well, first he had amazing charisma. When he was in the room, you could feel him. And then when he got on the stage, he had the ability to feel like he was singing to everybody.
So I guess you're saying you had to see him live.
You had to see him live.
You had to see him live.
But also on the record. On the record, he's everybody's best friend.
And you know, you did suggest to me to watch that live performance of his from Aloha from Hawaii.
Sure.
And like you get a real good feeling of like, I guess as far as video goes, like you're actually there. I watched that and I really felt like he had great charisma and a great act. How much of that was like, how much of creative control did he have over his own music?
Well, he had to a point. He could pick the songs that he wanted out of a certain group. But he produced the songs. He made them sound the way he wanted. He picked the ones that he wanted to sing.
And it looked like he had a special act. Like he had his own orchestra, his own band, his own singers, his own backup singers.
Yeah,
and was that like his?
Well,
his creative vision?
Yeah, the musicians, the first two, when he first started out, he was just put with them. Elvis had no experience, so they just took these two guys from the recording studio that were regulars in the recording studio, and Sam Phillips said, go work with Elvis, see what you can come up with. And they started playing for a while, and it wasn't until they were at the quiet moment when they were on a break, when Elvis just started strumming and being himself. And then all of a sudden they caught that magic on it was called an actate at the time. And it was just, actually it was a white guy with a black sound. And back then, that's all they needed because the black sound, the black music wasn't allowed on white radio.
Yeah, it seemed like he really set himself apart from the music industry of the time. Like it seemed like he was far ahead of his time.
Well, no, he wasn't far ahead of his time, but he grew up in the black community. He grew up very, very poor, so he grew up listening to black music because he lived in the black tenements. He went to the black churches, so he got that feel. And the black music was not allowed in the white world, so the kids never heard any of that. So when all of a sudden they heard this sound, they were like, "What is that? What is that?" And then they wanted more of it. So then they started going to see all the black artists at the time, and it unleashed. It was such a demand that they had to play the black artists on the white radio. But they had to change the name of it. They weren't allowed to play rhythm and blues. So Alan Freed came up with the name rock and roll. That's why Elvis is the king of rock and roll. He was the first.
So like he actually was kind of like a trailblazer in terms of like bringing that to the white audience then.
He was a trailblazer, and he laid the seeds of civil rights through music. All the white kids that were teenagers in the 50s were the activists in the 60s.
So you're saying he was very politically aware?
He didn't know. He didn't mean to. He didn't know what he was doing. He was just singing black music.
Just on a very intuitive level then.
Right. So all the white kids living down south, they wanted more of that music, so they started going to the black neighborhoods, and of course all the parents down there, a lot of KKK, a lot of the church members, they didn't want their kids playing that black music. But it was just a force so powerful.
Well, you know, and I love that rendition of American Trilogy that you did in today's show.
Yeah.
That, like, I feel really represents America and...
well, that's a 3-part song. It's actually about the Civil War, Glory, Glory, Hallelujah. And then in the end is when the North won the war and brought righteousness to the country.
I guess my final question would be like, how do you bring all of that originality, that vision, that performance, that stage presence? How do you bring that what Elvis had into your own performance, into your own show? How do you do that?
I love
How do you
Elvis.
bring that across to us?
I love Elvis first, and that's what comes out. And I live and breathe Elvis 24/7.
I see.
So I just, like I say, I go to Elvis land, and I close my eyes and in my head, and I just try to see the world through his eyes.
That is amazing.
And bring that music and try to bring the same emotion and fun
It's amazing, and you really do it well. Steve, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
For everything, and congratulations. I heard you were on the Jimmy Fallon show.
Yeah, the late show. I'll be on
right.
there again soon.
Soon? All right. Looking forward to more great
hope.
stuff coming from you, Steve.
God
All right,
bless
have a
you,
great
man.
one, bud. Thank you.